call an ambulance right away, so to speak. And that's how you tie it up.
Tighten.
Today, something absolutely unbelievable happened. Anatoly, the man everyone knows for his insane strength, fearless attitude, and mind-bending physical challenges, took things to an entirely new level. This time, he didn't step into a gym filled with iron plates and dumbbells. No, he faced off against a professional bodybuilder in a raw test of endurance and power, using nothing but a 25-kilogram bucket. What started as a friendly challenge quickly turned into an intense showdown of willpower and determination. The crowd could feel the tension, the energy, the rivalry, two giants pushing human limits in the most unexpected way. Make sure you watch until the very end, because what happens in the final 30 seconds will completely blow your mind. It's the kind of twist that proves why Anatoly is a living legend in the world of extreme challenges. And hey, if you love witnessing real-life moments of strength, courage, and pure adrenaline, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another jaw-dropping challenge. It all began when a local gym champion decided to take a jab at Anatoly online. He posted a video mocking him, saying that lifting buckets was a game for amateurs, not real athletes. The internet caught fire instantly. Comments poured in, some laughing, others defending Anatoly's legendary feats. Anatoly, calm as ever, didn't reply with anger. Instead, he turned to the camera with that trademark confident smile and said, "Let's see if your muscles can handle what my balance can." Those words spread like wildfire. Within hours, the challenge was set. The very next morning, a crowd gathered around an open lot, phones out, cameras rolling, everyone eager to witness what would soon become one of the most talked about moments in Anatoly's career. In the center stood a single metal bucket, its contents carefully measured, a heavy mix of water and cement, bringing the total weight to a precise 25 kilograms. The rules were simple, yet brutal. Lift it and hold it steady for 30 full seconds without spilling a single drop. You could feel the tension thick in the air. Every eye was locked on Anatoly and his challenger. One mistake, one tremor, and the entire crowd would see who truly had the strength and the control to claim victory. The bodybuilder was the first to step forward. You could tell by the way he rolled his shoulders and cracked his neck that he was confident, maybe too confident. The crowd murmured with excitement, phones lifted high, ready to record the moment. This was his chance to prove that raw muscle could beat Anatoly's precision. He gripped the handle of the 25-kilogram bucket with both hands. The veins in his forearms bulged instantly. His jaw tightened. With one deep breath, he lifted it. The crowd applauded, a wave of cheers filling the air. At first, everything seemed easy. 10 seconds in, the bucket was steady, his posture strong. But then, the strain began to show. His face turned red, sweat rolled down his temples. By 15 seconds, his breathing became shallow and forced. You could see his biceps shaking like cables under pressure. The crowd grew tense. At 20 seconds, the bucket started to wobble, ever so slightly at first, then more violently with each heartbeat. He fought to keep control, teeth clenched, but it was too late. A thin line of water splashed over the rim. The challenge was over. The audience gasped. The bodybuilder dropped the bucket, breathing heavily, his pride visibly shaken. Then, quietly, Anatoly stepped forward. No theatrics, no intimidation, just calm. He didn't need gloves. He didn't ask for chalk. He didn't even stretch. He simply looked at the bucket, as if it were an old friend, and took his position. The camera zoomed in on his expression, completely relaxed, yet focused like a laser. He bent slightly, wrapped his fingers around the handle, and lifted it with one arm. Not a single tremor, not a hint of strain. The crowd fell silent, as if someone had pressed pause on the world. His arm was perfectly still, his posture flawless, his eyes locked forward. Every breath was measured, every second felt eternal. The bodybuilder, now standing at the side, watched in disbelief. You could see it in his face. He realized this wasn't just about muscle. This was control, balance, and mental strength working in perfect harmony. 10 seconds, the bucket didn't move. 15 seconds, Anatoly's breathing stayed calm, like he was meditating. 20 seconds, not even a drop trembled at the rim. The crowd began whispering in awe. 25 seconds, some people started counting out loud. The tension in the air was electric. And then, as the final seconds ticked away, something incredible happened. Anatoly smiled. Not a forced smile, but a small, confident grin that told everyone, this is easy. 30 seconds passed. He still didn't move. Then, just to prove a point, he slowly turned his wrist, balancing the bucket as if it weighed nothing, before gently placing it back down without spilling a single drop. The crowd erupted. Phones flashed. People shouted his name. The bodybuilder shook his head, half in disbelief, half in admiration. And Anatoly? He just nodded, wiped his hands on his shorts, and said calmly, "Strength is nothing without control." That moment went viral within hours. Millions watched in disbelief as Anatoly reminded the world that true power isn't about how much you can lift. It's about how much you can master yourself. At 25 seconds, something completely unexpected happened. Anatoly, calm, silent, steady as stone, suddenly smiled. It wasn't a grin of effort or pride. It was the kind of smile that said, "Watch closely." And then, before anyone could even process what was happening, he switched arms. The crowd gasped in shock. Cameras shook as people tried to capture the moment. Nobody believed what they were seeing. Anatoly wasn't just lifting the 25-kilogram bucket anymore. He was playing with it. With one smooth motion, he turned his wrist, passed it to his other hand, and began to rotate slowly, almost like a dancer balancing perfection itself.
The water didn't move. Not a single drop escaped. Every muscle in his body was in total harmony. Strength, control, and balance united in a single, breathtaking display. The audience was frozen. Even the bodybuilder who had gone before couldn't help but smile, shaking his head in disbelief. When the timer hit 30 seconds, Anatoly didn't slam the bucket down like a victor. He gently lowered it, resting it on the ground as if placing something sacred. Then he stood upright, dusted off his hands, and gave a small nod to the crowd. For a second, there was silence, the kind that comes before an explosion. And then it hit. The crowd erupted. Cheers, whistles, applause, people shouting his name, waving their phones, replaying what they'd just seen. Even the bodybuilder who had gone before couldn't help but smile, shaking his head in disbelief. In that instant, everyone knew they hadn't just witnessed strength. They had witnessed mastery, the perfect blend of power, patience, and precision. Anatoly proved once again why he's not just strong, he's legendary. As the cheers still echoed through the air, Anatoly turned toward the camera, his breathing calm, his expression composed. The crowd quieted down, sensing that something important was about to be said. He looked straight into the lens, that same lens that had captured countless feats of strength, and spoke words that would soon circle the globe. Strength isn't just in the muscles, it's in the mind, the discipline, and the will to never back down. It wasn't a shout, it wasn't a speech, it was a truth, delivered with quiet confidence and absolute conviction. Those few words hit deeper than any display of power. People felt them, athletes, students, everyday dreamers, because they spoke about something universal, the inner strength that pushes a person to keep going when everything else says stop. Within hours, that clip flooded every platform. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it was everywhere. Influencers were quoting it, coaches were sharing it in motivational reels, and fitness enthusiasts across the world began to attempt to recreate the stunt. The hashtag Anatoly challenge exploded online, turning into a global phenomenon. People weren't just lifting buckets, they were lifting weights, bottles, even backpacks, anything they could find, all in tribute to that one moment. Memes appeared, remix videos multiplied, and Anatoly's message became more than a viral clip. It became a movement. What began as a simple challenge had transformed into something far greater, a symbol of perseverance, control, and mental power. And through it all, Anatoly remained the same, humble, smiling, always reminding his followers that true strength starts from within. After witnessing everything Anatoly just did, the focus, the calm, the power, the control, there's one question left. Would you dare to try the 25 kg bucket challenge? This isn't just about lifting weight. It's about testing yourself, your balance, your patience, your endurance, your willpower. It's about finding out if you have the strength not only in your arms, but in your mind. Imagine standing there with everyone watching, your heart pounding, the bucket trembling slightly in your hands, knowing that every second feels like an eternity. Could you hold it? Could you stay calm when your muscles start burning, when your body screams to stop? If you think you could, if you believe you've got what it takes, drop a thumbs up emoji in the comments right now. Let's see how many true challengers are out there. Show Anatoly that the spirit of strength, focus, and discipline is alive and growing all over the world. And hey, if this story lit a fire in you, if it made you believe even a little more in your own power, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because this is only the beginning. What you saw today was just one test, one moment that reminded the world what real control looks like. But Anatoly's next challenge, it's on a whole different level. Rumor has it, he's training for something that could rewrite the limits of human endurance. Something involving not just strength, but balance, pain tolerance, and mental precision at a level no one's ever dared to reach before. And trust me, when that video drops, it's going to break the internet. So stay tuned, because here, it's not just about watching, it's about joining a movement. Every challenge, every story, every drop of sweat is a reminder that greatness isn't given, it's built. Keep pushing your limits, keep believing in your strength, and never forget Anatoly's words. Strength isn't just in the muscles, it's in the mind, the discipline, and the will to never back down. See you in the next one, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be watching you take on the 25 kg bucket challenge.